Got it.
So, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you something, because I mean, you can do it. You can do a video and post a video on YouTube using a video camera and a
Yeah.
microphone and lighting and all this.
Mm.
But there is a much simpler way of
Yes.
posting a video
Yeah.
on YouTube, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, I would use something like Microsoft Windows PowerPoint
Yeah.
and something like Camtasia or some
Yes.
kind of screen capture
Exactly.
tool.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you did this with, I think, the website superiorman.com,
Yeah.
is it?
That's right.
Superior-man.com.
Superior-man.com.
Right.
So what I decided, I didn't want to bother with the hassle of videoing and lights and backdrop and all
Yes.
this hassle, because it's quite time consuming doing
Sure.
all that. Okay, so I thought, all I'll do is just create the audio of me
Right.
talking, which just ends up as an
With MP3 Audacity, right?
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, and then what I'll do, instead of having the video for people to watch, I'll just have screenshots. I'll just have words on there or
Got it.
pictures.
So you just have like let's say black backdrop
Yeah.
with just pictures coming up or words coming up. But what software do you use to do that?
Well, I use the same video. Actually, I think you know more about this than me, because with Microsoft PowerPoint
Yes.
and what was the other one?
Camtasia.
Yeah, you're more familiar with this than I am, actually.
I am with how to do it on Windows with Microsoft PowerPoint and Camtasia, and it's
Okay.
very straightforward
Okay.
to do that with that. But what tools were you using
Okay.
with your Mac?
Okay, there's a more professional piece of video editing software called Final Cut Pro.
Right.
Okay, for the Apple Mac. As far as I'm aware, it's only available on the Apple Mac. I don't know what the Windows version is. I think it's Adobe Premiere.
Adobe Premiere. There's also the Sony. There's a Sony FileMaker, Sony something by Sony that is also available for movie editing.
So I'm quite a technical-minded person. These are quite professional pieces of software, the ones we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't mind, figuring them out. I quite enjoy it.
But at the end of the day, you could always hire somebody to do this to do the technical stuff. Probably what I would do is I would maybe film some seminar of mine or me talking somewhere, and I would just give the tapes to a film editor here in Cyprus, and just
exactly.
Yeah, and basically have them edit it for me.
Yeah. Because to put it in perspective, the small amount of money you're going to pay someone to edit this thing for you and to make it look professional is going to be a drop in the ocean compared to the amount of money you're going to end up making from the final web
Exactly.
business.
And at the end of the day, you're not getting paid to edit movies. You get paid because of these are just a marketing tool to drive traffic to your website, and it's through doing the marketing, the sales that you get paid. But it's still important to tell people in as much detail as we can about how to use these tools. Having said that, this is an MP3 recording of our interview right now, and the best way to educate people about how to use these tools would be probably a video itself of the process, or a screen capture, because it's one thing for us to describe verbally how to use it. It's another thing for you to actually see it on the screen. So I'm sure, Ben, you'll get around at some point to showing people on a screen capture on a video how they can actually create their own videos.
Exactly.
But what else can we say about creating this? So there's PowerPoint, there's Adobe Premiere software, there is the free Windows Movie Maker, there is iMovies. What else do people need to know about creating these videos? Is there any other software, other tools that you use?
Actually, I think the probably the bit that needs a little bit of clarification is the compression.
Right. Okay.
Apart from that, I think everything else is quite
self-explanatory within those tools, within that software.
Yeah, it's quite straightforward. So with the compression, it's different within each of those different bits of software, but most of them have an option to export, in the menu, and then a lot of them have a choice where you can choose to compress it then as an MP4 file.
Now, by the way, I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
By the way, before everything that Ben is describing now, you can see examples of this by going to youtube.com. That's YOUTUBE, youtube.com, and typing in V Guitar Lessons. Type in V Guitar Lessons, and you will see. I mean, how many videos do you have on YouTube? You have
I got about 30 or 40.
30 or 40 videos now.
Guitar
wow.
lesson videos on there. Yeah.
So you got a guitar lessons one. Okay, so you might want to look at 1 or 2 guitar lessons ones, but I want them to see. I want our listeners to see the different types of videos you've created. Because the latest one I saw, one was there's a guitar lesson. With another one is with a backdrop.
Yeah.
You talking about personal development. Another one is you don't see you. It's just a black frame with some words coming up and then saying, check out superiorman.com, superior-man.com, which I thought was really smart and clever because it didn't take much effort to do that at all.
Exactly.
Sorry, but you were saying about compression. This file do export and with the option of compression.
Just to give you another example, we were saying that you don't need the video footage. You can create these screenshots. You know. On my pickup artist videos on YouTube, I decided the best thing to do would be to get pictures of women in bikinis. So you've got the MP3 audio of me talking, and then you've got these screenshots of these, beautiful women in bikinis, and it
fantastic,
brilliant.
That is just pure genius.
So
I love it. So. Tell us a little bit more about the editing process itself. We said it's pretty much self-explanatory once you get into it.
Yeah.
But so the quick recap, you've now streamed that video from your camera onto your computer. You're saving it as a MP4 file or something like that on your computer. It's maybe 1 to 10 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And you open it in iMovies or Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, it won't be an MP4 yet because that's what happens when you compress it.
Right. So it's in whatever. It just opens up as that file.
Yeah.
And does it open up and kind of shows you like 300, 600, 500,000 different little frames one by one?
Yeah, it's got like it can do that. And it doesn't have to do that. It's like a visual. It's like a block, like a bar. And the good news is, Mark, if you make any mistakes while you're recording on the video, this is the stage where you can edit out your mistakes.
Got it.
So you can use the little scissor icon.
Right. Okay? Just cut out.
And you can click on the bit where you made a mistake, and you can click where it begins, click where it finishes, and then you can delete that segment, and then move it all together. And so you've got rid of the
mistakes, and so it makes it flow better.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be doing with this interview.
Yeah.
So in fact, that last comment is going to probably be cut as well.
Yeah.
So and you can also cut, copy, and paste as you would do in a normal Word document. Just highlight the bits you want to cut or delete, and just copy it, paste it, delete it, what have you.
And the truth is, you're going to have to spend probably half hour faffing around to get to grips with this software, how to use it. Yeah.
And then you. What about? I wanted to ask you. What about adding like a soundtrack? To it?
That's great.
How do you do that?
I love doing that, and it's very easy. You just take a bit of music, and it's as simple as just dragging your music file, which is usually an MP3 file, maybe an iTunes file or something like that. You just drag it onto this